Hey everyone, you know those books that just stick with you? The ones that make you question everything you thought you knew about the human mind and what we're capable of? Well, I just finished one that completely blew me away, and I couldn't wait to chat with you about it. We're talking about Stacy Willingham's All the Dangerous Things, and trust me, this isn't just a book, it's an experience. Imagine living a year without a single night of real sleep, not just a bad night here and there, but 364 days of constant wake-up signals. Stumbling through life in a semi-exonesis dream state. That's exactly where we find Isabel Drake, our protagonist. At the beginning of this wild ride, her son Mason was taken from his nursery exactly 1 year ago, and she hasn't slept a wink since, tormented by the thought that she slept through it all. This is more than just a tragic story, it's a deep dive into grief, trauma, and the insidious effects of sleep deprivation on memory and sanity. Isabel's life has become a public spectacle. She travels to true crime conferences like True Crime Con, where she's the keynote speaker, recounting the most painful moment of her life for strangers. It's a bizarre world where people wear t-shirts of serial killers and act like her tragedy is nothing more than a fun puzzle to be solved. She hates them, but she also needs them, because when the rest of the world forgets, they remember. It's a really stark look at our society's strange fascination with true crime, where people want a taste of violence, but if it gets too bitter or too salty or too real, they'll smack their lips and leave dissatisfied. Sound familiar? Now, living like this, with constant exhaustion and blurry vision, Isabel starts seeing and hearing things that might not be there, but she also has a secret history. She was a sleepwalker as a child. She'd wake up in strange rooms or even outside, with no memory of how she got there. Her mother always warned Margaret, Isabel's younger sister. Mom said not to. It's dangerous to wake a sleepwalker. This childhood experience, coupled with her current state, makes Isabel terrified that she might have been responsible for Mason's disappearance without knowing it. Can you imagine a more terrifying thought for a mother? This fear isn't completely unfounded, and here's where the past truly starts to unravel. We learn about Margaret's death years ago, which was officially ruled an accidental drowning, but Isabel starts recalling unsettling details: water on the carpet, a different nightgown mud on her neck. It's all very hazy, like a dream, but the pieces slowly start to click. Alright, let's pause here for a quick burning question. So was Isabel really responsible for Margaret's death or for Mason's disappearance? This is the central psychological puzzle of the book, and Isabel herself grapples with it constantly. The answer is incredibly complex and takes us down some unexpected paths. As it turns out, Isabel's mother suffered from postpartum psychosis after losing a baby named Eloise Ellie. This is a severe mental health condition where a mother can experience delusions and hallucinations. Isabel's mother, in her psychosis, tried to kill them all in a house fire once, and then, believing it was the right thing to do, led Margaret into the marsh where she drowned her. Isabel's father covered it up to protect his family's reputation, lying to the police and instructing Isabel to do the same. This revelation is utterly heartbreaking and explains why Isabel has carried such deep unspoken guilt her entire life. Not knowing the truth until much later, it completely reframes her perception of her childhood sleepwalking, which was her body's response to trauma, not a malevolent act. The author's note truly highlights this, explaining how she wanted to portray the severe impact of mental health issues when ignored, especially in mothers. Now back to Mason. Isabel connects with the true crime podcaster Willon Spencer, who seems genuinely interested in her story. He's charismatic, easy to talk to, and Isabel lets him into her home, hoping he'll find answers the police haven't. But Waylon has his own secrets. As Isabel digs deeper, she discovers his true motive. Waylon is Allison Spencer's brother, meaning Allison Drake was his sister. Allison was Ben's first wife, the one Isabel had an affair with Ben against. Allison died of an overdose, ruled a suicide. But Waylon doesn't believe it was suicide. He believes Ben murdered her, and he's been trying to prove it for years. He saw Mason's disappearance as Ben doing it again. This explains why Waylon had an old copy of Mason's case file, and why he was so interested in Ben and Allison's past. So, here's another question that naturally comes up. If Waylon believes Ben killed Allison, what does he think happened to Mason? Well, Waylon believes Ben orchestrated Mason's disappearance. Why? Ben didn't want another child, especially as Isabel started working again, and Mason was getting old enough to talk, which could expose Ben's affair with his new girlfriend, Valerie. And who is Valerie? She's not just Ben's new girlfriend, she's also his therapist. Isabel confronts Valerie, realizing the eerie similarities between Valerie and herself, and Valerie and Allison. Valerie admits Mason is in a better place. In a fit of rage, Isabel shoves Valerie, who falls onto a glass coffee table and dies. This is where the story takes a chilling turn. And Isabel's character truly comes into her own, fueled by her past trauma, her deep-seated guilt for Margaret's death, and her own unraveling perception of reality. Isabel decides to frame Ben for Valerie's murder. She orchestrates the scene, leaving Ben's ring under the couch and using his DNA to make it look like he killed her. She then manipulates Detective Dozier into suspecting Abigail Fisher, a childless woman from Valerie's grief counseling group who was unable to have children and desperately wanted one. It's a masterclass in manipulation, as Isabel guides the police to the truth she wants them to believe. So, to answer the ultimate question, who took Mason? It was Abigail Fisher, who was manipulated by Valerie at Ben's request into taking Mason, believing he was better off with her due to Ben's lies about Isabel being an unfit mother. Abigail eventually feels immense guilt, realizing the monster she was told about wasn't true, but by then, it's too late. This book is a fascinating exploration of unreliable narration and the stories we construct to make sense of our world, or even to survive it. Isabel's journey is a horrifying example of how trauma can warp perception and lead to desperate, dangerous actions. The author's note emphasizes that Isabel's actions, while extreme, stem from the immense societal pressure and guilt placed on mothers. It challenges us to look beyond the surface and question the narratives we're presented with, both in fiction and in real life. It asks, what truth do we choose to believe when the real one is too painful? All the dangerous things will make you rethink memory, truth, and the hidden depths of human psychology. It's a gripping psychological thriller that serves as a powerful commentary on how we perceive tragedy and how easily blame can be shifted, especially onto those already vulnerable. If you love a story that keeps you guessing until the very last page and one that delves into the messy, complicated aspects of human nature, you absolutely have to pick this one up. You might just find yourself thinking about it long after you've turned the final page.